Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the solar edge number of 7 according to the Pythagorean numerology. So 7 is depicted in the Western numerology as the governing planet of Neptune. Neptune is a water planet. It's known as having a water god in just our early philosophical times. In the Eastern side of things, it's Kietsu, but we'll discuss that when I get to Eastern numerology. I'll go more into a description about that. So the soul urge number, I'll repeat it as well. Each video I just want to make sure I repeat it in case anybody misses any videos. It's made from the vowels in your full birth name. So when you get that full equation together, if it comes to 7, then you have 7. If it goes to 16 by any chance, it might be the karmic number of 16. It's still 7, but I'm going to do a separate video regarding if it's that karmic number because it does play a role for sure. So this number 7 is very focused on self-realization and more about self-finding. It's not really about like self-improvement in that sense, but more so finding our inner self. When you have the number 7, you tend to be quite introverted, reserved. You can be sociable, but you tend to more so look at fact-based problems. You want to just look at data analysis and do a lot of research, especially when it comes to occult and spiritual sciences. So with the 7 as a soul urge number, you're going to have a deep craving to find your inner self and find out who you really are and why you're here. This leads 7s to come up with new religions, different ideologies, but it's a very, very spiritual number. As you know, the 7th chakra is literally the crown chakra over our head, represented by the violet color or purple. So it's very above our world. 7 is not really part of the physical realm. Neptune is a faraway planet, very close, more so to Saturn, but we're on the outskirts. So when you look at 7 from that standpoint, realize that 7 is somebody who doesn't like to necessarily be in the middle of the crowd. They like to more so be at the side and observe. So if you have this soul urge number, what you want to do is research into, if you're in a certain religion, master that religion. If you're into spiritual realization, practice meditation, practice mindfulness, practice self-fulfillment and appreciation of the world around you. Because these are the things that's actually going to bring your soul the power. Career-wise, what I'd recommend for 7s is this. You guys are going to get into something that's more so fact-based and that you guys are not being micromanaged. Because of the lack of sociability that you have as a natural soul urge number 7, you're going to want to have a career where you're not being bothered or hindered by other people's inability to be competent. So what you want to do is get like a career more so in like data analysis, so things like accounting. I wouldn't really recommend HR because you're dealing with too many people, but things like freelancing and anything, like a freelance writer, truck driving, stock trading, things that it's really, albeit just on you. Because once it's all on you, you're able to take responsibility. You guys have no qualms taking responsibility for your own actions. And that's what really makes this number 7 very powerful. It's a very zealotry type of number. So you guys are zealots. Like you guys will obsess over something to the point where people think you have OCD. You don't have OCD. What it is that you guys are very fact-based and very based on like getting to the bottom of things and getting the proper results based on objective realities, not subjective. So because of that, you guys are good for anything regarding research. Scientists and a lot of political reformers have been the result of soul urge number 7, simply because you guys are so good at getting to the core of things and actually mastering tasks. You guys won't leave things undone. Other numbers have a bit of a problem with getting sidetracked with other things that they want to do. But your whole sidetrack is that if you guys get into something that's more so based on money or based on like fame, you're not really, you'll make it, but your guys more so care about the self-fulfillment part. So career-wise, I recommend getting something that's not really for your money, but more so that's going to fulfill your spirit. Certain numbers like number 1, I'd say, no, make sure you're number 1, whatever you do. Doesn't really matter. Just be number 1. But with 7, you guys will definitely be number 1 as well. But it's going to be through something that you actually like and consider your craft. A lot of good martial artists have 7 predominantly in their chart as well, like Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee, because it just shows that they need to master the craft. They more so are focusing on the process and not the end result. And that's my major tip for you guys, is to make sure you focus on your processes. Don't get too overly obsessive over things, like to the point where you become a perfectionist, but definitely focus on your processes, because focusing on your internal processing is going to lead you to a spiritual fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, and mental fulfillment. When you have all those things put together, you're actually going to be very happy as a result, and you'll end up being more sociable because you're doing something that you actually enjoy. Some final notes for the number 7 that I would say is, the only con I would say is really, you guys are a little bit overly obsessed with being competent to the point where you may be incompetent, because you're going to obsess over a process to the point where you start overthinking, and overanalysis leads to paralysis. Meaning if you overanalyze something to the point where you're just saying, will I do this, will I not, you end up not doing anything, and then you end up coming down yourself for then being incompetent. So you need to definitely focus on processes, but also understand that, like, put trust in your own intuition. You guys have a very developed intuition right next to the number 11s. So if you have this as your soul urge number, your spirit's going to tell you naturally what to do. And sometimes the problem is that you guys like to think over using the heart, but the thing about it is your intuition is going to give you the real answers to your life, like situations, relationships, and even money. And that intuition may not be the logical choice all the time. That intuition may say, quit this job and do this instead, or quit your job and be like Steve Jobs and go to India. But the thing about it is, that's where you're going to find that spiritual fulfillment, and you're going to have self-realization through the process of that natural gut feeling that you had. So to explain number 7 as a soul urge number is a bit complicated, because it's going to be different for everybody. But the commonality in it is this, is that you guys are going to have an intuition that's going to actually lead you to the right place. Your mental processes are very thorough. You guys don't just think about things and then just do them. You guys literally will think, rethink it, ask close associates, friends, and family if you view them as competent, and then you guys will go through with what you have to do. So that's a very efficient person, but you need to trust your own efficiency. The only other con to the number 7 is that antisocial part. So you guys take a very long time to trust people. You guys keep everybody at a very arm's length and keep boundaries around you. What's ironic is that you guys are romantics at heart, and if you end up literally keeping people too far away, they're going to try to come to you. And when they try to come to you after a while, they may not want to deal with you anymore because it's too hard to actually communicate with you. It's too hard to get past the trust issues that you have. So what you want to do is read people, trust your mind, trust your intuition. Most people are liars, yes, and people are lying because they lack self-validation. They lie to impress other people. And a lot of times they're going to lie to you because they want to impress you. That's the worst part about it. But you need to just learn to accept people for who they are, the role that they play in your life. And through that, I'm not saying be manipulative, but you need to maybe put people in categories, because 7 is so extreme that they just become reserved and loners. So you want to more so open your mind and your heart to people. And I just say use it like stages. Open your mind first and analyze who they are, because you have a very thorough mind. And then for the people that do deserve it, open your heart. And if they do betray your trust, that's part of life. And you have to accept that not everything can be a calculated decision. Relationships can be calculated to a certain extent, but if you calculate it too much, the other person's going to sense the energy that you are literally basing the relationship on pros and cons of whether or not you can trust them, whether or not they're going to be a benefit to you in your life. I mean, it's efficient, but at the same time, sometimes love will take precedent, and trust needs time to actually develop. Not everybody's going to be right away like open with you. That's the thing. And if you're not open with other people, how can you exactly expect them to be open with you? So it's a bit of a paradox there. But that's just fruits for thought. That would be like my final notes on the 7. Altogether, it's a very efficient number, very competent. Your mental process is pretty much perfect when it comes to coming to ideas. Your whole weakness is the fact that you guys just lack the social skills to network and then make proper money, and you guys may get caught up in spiritual dogmas. But if you can get past that and come to self-realization and actually trust yourself, you'll begin to start trusting others and realizing that everything in this universe is happening for a reason. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching today. Aside from that, I'm going to call it a day on the number 7. If you have any questions regarding it whatsoever, just let me know in the comments or send me an email at shem_roy@hotmail.com. I also have Instagram, Shem's Universe 8.0. I'll leave all the stuff in the description for you guys, so you guys can actually link me there. But aside from that, I'm going to call it a day for this number. I'll be back tomorrow with number 8, and we're going to get right through soul urge numbers. I'm going to get to karmic numbers after that, and then the master numbers. All right, so thank you guys so much again. Please like, subscribe, holla at me. That's it, guys. Thank you.